Here's up, guys, it's MugenLord here. I know this is going to be shocking, but today we're going to talk about Guerrilla Games. I don't really talk about Guerrilla Games here on this YouTube channel, but I really want to talk about this is because just recently they talked about how they were pretty much done with the Killzone series. And I wanted to have a discussion about this because we're in a situation to where when it comes to Sony, when it comes to their IPs, it's really sad is that Sony hasn't been releasing a variety of IPs. You've been seeing the same IPs over and over again with a ton of sequels, and we starting to see a lot of remasters and remakes of games that haven't been out for too long. And people are saying, hey, what's been going on? Like, you have a lot of franchises, especially after the fact is that Microsoft had bought Activision Blizzard, and now they no longer have Call of Duty. People are saying, hey, you do have your own Call of Duty, and that was the Killzone series. So before we even dive into the video, make sure you hit the subscribe button, the notification bell for more gaming content here on this channel. So we're going to dive right into it. This is from Push Square. It says, Sony's Guerrillas sounds completely done with the Killzone series. We were done with it as a team. Now, hopefully they get a new team steps in, but that's really sad to hear this. Because I'm not gonna lie, I thought Killzone was actually pretty dope. I thought it was generic at first until we'll get into it because I have some things to say. If there's ever is to be another Killzone title out of Sony in the future, you probably should not expect it to come out of the series' original developer Guerrilla Games. Having shifted focus to more vibrant Horizon series, so overrated, the most overrated Sony IP I've ever seen. Following the PS4 launch game Killzone Shadowfall, the studio's art director Roy Postma has commented that the studio was done with it as a team. It wanted to create the opposite of Killzone color palette when crafting Aloy's first installment, Postma told the Washington Post. The comments come from an interview about LEGO Horizon Adventures, which I found it kind of crazy that it's also coming out on all platforms. Seeing Horizon and seeing some of the PlayStation IP, like the costumes that you can get in the LEGO game, you also see it on the Nintendo console. It just seems so weird. It's just so funny. But I digress. Where it reveals LEGO approach to Sony about the idea of a LEGO game following the release of its tall neck LEGO set. Talking about switching from the dark and gritty world of Killzone to the colorful post-apocalyptic setting of Horizon, Postma said, we were done with it as a team. As a studio, we needed to refresh the palette. It was by choice the opposite of Killzone. Now, I understand, as developers, you know, you're creatives, you're artists. You don't want to be sticking around doing the same thing over and over again. But to me, I just thought that when it comes to Killzone, Killzone could have been an IP that could have been a recognizable IP, especially for Sony. They could have been their brand of Halo. And remember, at one point, they was advertising it to be the Halo killer or Sony's version of Halo and everything. I mean, it didn't reach that type of cult acclaim, but it still was enough for people to actually get upset that the Killzone series is going, and people are actually asking for a Killzone game. So to see them just totally neglected is just sad to see. We've seen it with Naughty Dog with the Jack series. So it's just sad to see something like this happen. But, as I said before, it says, I quote, I think the themes that this story and the characters represent are relatable for all ages and people, like having a fond family of friends finding a place in the world, and this is in reference to Horizon Zero Dawn. But Guerrilla Games created the Killzone titles from 2004, goddamn, until 2013, spanning 5 entries across 4 consoles. With Sony making a push into the live service market, Killzone franchise is one of the, that fans have pegged for a comeback, along with SOCOM, yes, that's another franchise, and Twisted Metal, that's another franchise, but never cared for it. This hasn't materialized, however, as Sony released and quickly pulled Concord, while finding major success in Helldivers earlier in this year. Fair games from Haven Studios and Bungie's own Marathon are also on the way. If there ever to be another Killzone game, it sounds like Guerrilla Games has little enthusiasm to make it. How do you feel about this? Share your thoughts. Yes, this is going to be a quick video because I definitely want to get my thoughts and opinions on this. Killzone, to me, I thought it was a unique title. Did it really stand out from the other shooters? I mean, story-wise, yeah, kind of interesting. But remember, you had stuff like Call of Duty that was out. So a lot of people seen it, oh, this is just Sony's, you know, Call of Duty. But the fact about what I enjoyed about what Guerrilla Games has done, I think Guerrilla Games was a studio that really pushed the envelope. It really pushed the limits of a game console. Because still to this day, Killzone, was it Killzone? Yeah, Killzone 2, I believe it was. Killzone 2 on the PS3, still to this day, still holds up. I still can't believe that it was a PS3 game. And I remember that tech demo when the PS3 and the Xbox 360, the next generation consoles, was, you know, on the horizon. And I remember when they showcased that tech demo, or that demo of Killzone 2. I couldn't believe it, because when I first saw it, I thought it was just a cutscene. I said, wait a minute, this is what the PS3 could produce? Remember, we're just about to leave the PS2, and we're about to jump to the PS3. And this was leaps and bounds when it comes to progression and graphical fidelity. It was just amazing. And I just had to pick up the game myself just to see, was it true that this game actually looks like this? And guess what? It looked close enough. And it was a damn sure good game. It was a very hard game. I'm not good at first-person shooters. I was getting my ass destroyed in the game. But I did play the hell out of it. I thought it was, like, that was the only game that I really put a lot of time in on my PS3. Because I was more of an Xbox 360 guy during that era. But I did play a lot of Killzone 2 on the PS3. And I really enjoyed it. And I loved the gameplay mechanics. I loved the visuals. And I loved the little story, the story that they did have for it. And it could have definitely went somewhere. And I thought Guerrilla Games had something going on. And I thought that this would eventually become an IP that so many fans will resonate with. And it becomes something like a Halo or something like a Call of Duty for Sony. So the fact is that when Microsoft had bought and acquired Activision Blizzard, Sony was so scared, was so like nervous at the fact is that Microsoft was going to now have the Call of Duty franchise, which is responsible for a lot of the money that Sony makes and everything. And I'm looking like, why are you afraid when you got a bunch of IP that can actually rival Call of Duty if you put the money in the development team to the task? You know, you still got you have the Resistance franchise, and then you have Killzone. Just work on those. You're sitting on a gold mine. And this is the thing that frustrates me also about Sony, because Sony had threw away a lot of old franchises, and it makes me mad when I see Astrobot, which is a game I'm going to pick up for the Christmas holiday, where you have Astrobot that pretty much pay homage to a lot of the IPs that Sony once held very, very high, that people resonated with that console, especially the console back in the day with the PS1, PS2, you know? And now these are just relics of the past. Why can't they just bring these type of IPs back? In this case, Killzone. And the fact is that the team doesn't want to ever think about ever going back to it, and now they're putting more work and more effort into the Horizon series. It's just, I don't know, man. And like I said, we're in this era where everything's a live service game. And if we are going to do live service, I think Killzone would have been the game to take a full advantage of the live service. And the fact is that they acquired Bungie on top of that. Since they acquired Bungie, they could have used the expertise of Bungie to really put emphasis on Killzone. I think they would have had a hit with that. And it's just sad to see that they just turned their back on it. Now, not to say that we won't see Killzone. We have to wait and see if another developer, can get hands on with it and give us a brand new Killzone game. I think that would be pretty cool to see what they come up of it, out of it. But as of right now, man, it's just sad that, there's a possibility that we'll never see Killzone ever again. So I definitely want to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. Have you played Killzone? What was your first interaction with Killzone? And what did you thought of it as a series altogether? Do you think it had the opportunity to become a legacy IP that people resonate with, like how they resonate with Halo and Call of Duty? Do you think they had that potential? So if you like the video, make sure you hit the subscribe button and notification bell for more gaming content here on this channel. This is MugenLord, sign off. I'll see you game fiends later. Peace out.